Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I restarted the game for this particular episode. It's a new day here, and it's working. I don't know what to say. It's just working, as is. So I do believe that we may still have some wheels be counter-rotating, but it doesn't appear to matter, because we appear to just go directly forward. And we're also kind of hovering off of the ground a little bit. I'm not sure what's up with that one. But we appear to just go directly forward when we are unbraked. Unfortunately, it's very slow. So we're going to accelerate. And this does indeed appear to be functional. Cool. Yeah, it seems to be completely and totally fine. So we're just going to bring this on in, and you can see here we're heading on over. We should figure out how quickly we can brake. I still can't believe we didn't break any of our wheels with that exciting landing. That's a little wild, but let's see how quickly we can brake here. Okay, it's pretty slow. Good to know. So we're going to need to brake a ways out, but that's fine. Oh, we started listing off to the left there. That's interesting. I got it under control, but I'm not entirely sure why that happened. Okay, well, we're just going to come on in, and it's no big deal. Also, one thing that I did was I controlled from this docking port instead of the clipped-in thing in there. That might have something to do with it. To be clear, though, oh, we really need to brake here. I'm going to turn off over this direction, and to be clear, there is a, this delivery system, that's the term I'm looking for. This delivery system is going to be dramatically different when we come in later on. Okay, so brake can go off now, but I want to set this as our target. Okay, brake goes off, and we're just going to head on in here. Beautiful. So we should be able to head in, no real problem. We might be sitting a little bit off here. I'm not sure. But it should be okay. So we'll just attach this on up. And in we go. Docking forces getting a little bit overzealous there. But we're going to have Henfrod here transfer over to the science lab. There we go. And the mobile processing lab can now grab the data from, well, everything here. So we can review this data. Apparently we can't process this in the lab. In which case we should reset the experiment. Okay. Coming in here, the mystery goo, we'll check that one. Apparently we can't process that either. That's interesting. Okay. So we've got our gravity scan and our magnetometer that we may or may not be able to process here. That's our pressure data. Well, we may as well grab our thermometer data. Okay, we can't store any of this in the lab. Not sure what exactly is going on with that. No scientists present. Henfrod is a pilot. I'm dumb. Okay, so we're going to have to send a scientist over. Acing is an engineer. For some reason, I was thinking that Henfrod was a pilot, or was a scientist. No, Henfrod is a pilot. I intended for Henfrod to be a scientist, but sure. So we'll get this strapped together, and I guess the next module that we send over is going to be, as I brake here, the next module is going to be the habitation module. Because we need to send a scientist over. Okay, so we're just going to connect this on up real quick here. That did not go. That still did not go. We'll try it from this side. That latched onto the door here. That's definitely not what we want. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. So let's grab ourselves our other struts and get those put up as well. I don't care about that. Go away. Cool. So we'll get this put in. We should still be able to close this, no problem. And we'll get one down on the bottom if I can find where those struts are. Or are all of the struts up on the top on this one? Yeah, they would be, wouldn't they? Because this was vertically attached. Okay, so we'll grab this and move this over to be about here. Strut that in about here. Looks good. And then we'll grab this one and do the same on this side. Beautiful. So we'll get that in there. And now acing is done here for the time being. Fantastic. And up we go. We'll grab on here in a moment. There we go. And we'll hop in. Cool. So we don't have a scientist here, we have a pilot, and we are going to transfer this crew back over to here. There we go. And let's head back to the Space Center. Fantastic. So we need to send a scientist up. That's very clear. I did not intend for there to be a pilot here, but okay, I guess there's a pilot. So let's get loaded on in here, and we need to send up our... Let's see, I want to think about, do we want to change anything around on the habitation module? Let's take a look at it. I can't remember if there were things broken on it or not. There probably were. Colony habitation unit. Beautiful. So, I think this one was reasonably fine. Yes, I believe so. Okay, so first things first, we are going to be, of course, controlling from here. And we just launch this as is, I think, and we bring in... Well, we definitely bring Milnerd here. Or, actually, Traley has the least XP. We'll bring Traley. Fantastic. So, we'll just go ahead and launch this as is. I think it'll be completely fine, more than okay. Like, we don't really need to rethink our approach going to Minmus. We have basically the same amount of delta V to get there, less delta V to get to the surface. It's fine. I'm not too concerned. So we're going to lift this thing off here as soon as it loads in, and we're just making a beeline for Minmus. SAS on, throttle up, and off we go. We're going to head over about now to start our gravity turn. It's definitely going to be a steeper gravity turn than the last one, but that's by design. We've got a fairing on this thing. We'll be okay. Just double checking that Traley is a scientist. Yes, Traley is a scientist. Great. Okay, so up we go here. And we're going to have our side boosters running out of fuel in about a minute. And that's completely okay. Looking at our apoapsis here. Yeah, time to apoapsis is about 23 seconds out and growing, so we're fine. We'll see if that continues to be fine, but I think it will. I'm quite certain it will. Beautiful. 30 seconds to apoapsis right now, and 30 seconds left on our side tanks, so bare minimum, we will not be reaching apoapsis before these tanks pop off, and that is what we are really interested in. So we're going to have a lot of speed loss to air resistance here, but we're picking up a lot of horizontal speed, which is what we want. Cool. Side boosters are going to be coming off in 4 seconds. 2, 1, now. Okay, clean separation. I had noticed a little bit of a roll that was oscillating back and forth there. Luckily, and yeah, it caused them to impact back there, but that's fine. Luckily, it didn't take out any of our fins. So we're good on that front. We're going to continue going up this way. And we're definitely pushing through the atmosphere at a prodigious speed. Luckily, the atmosphere is starting to thin out. Unluckily, our apoapsis is still 30 kilometers, but that will start going up dramatically soon as we start pushing our apoapsis out way over here. Well, It's going to be way over here eventually. Cool. So we've got 90 seconds of burn left here. And our speed is increasing precipitously, which means that our apoapsis is going to start going up dramatically soon. We can already see that our time to apoapsis is increasing more and more rapidly. And that's great. We've got this secondary stage here. We're not concerned about delta V. Yeah, it's probably more efficient to get a little bit more vertical speed than this, because we're remaining in fairly thick portions of the atmosphere for long periods of time. But I think it's fine. Apoapsis is in orbit as of now, or rather in space as of now. And we're just, this is good enough. We'll coast here. Beautiful. So we're 10 minutes to the apoapsis right now. We may end up having to push up our apoapsis a little bit. I'm targeting 100 kilometers here. We overshot because we're going to have some drag, but it should be fine. Definitely should be fine. We are currently about 40 kilometers up. I'm going to physics warp as we make our way through the atmosphere here. And we can see 110. We're doing fine. I don't think we've got a problem there. Okay, so that's 50 kilometers. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and ditch the fairing now. That is no longer necessary. And we're just going to continue to warp here as we climb out of the atmosphere. We're at 60 kilometers. And yeah, we're definitely not going to dip below 100. So that's good. And we're going to come out of the atmosphere here in just a moment. 70 kilometers. There we go. Beautiful. So we'll extend our solar panels and prepare for this burn at the apoapsis. Not quite at the apoapsis there, and that was a bit of a radial burn, which we will probably need either radial or anti-radial. I just want to move the timing. There we go. Cool. And then a prograde burn here. Something along the lines of... Not quite that. Overshot that a little bit. Cool. Something along the lines of this will be fine. We'll get aligned for that. And with this having the extra reaction wheels, we shouldn't really have any major problems with that. I can't remember if we had any heating issues here with the legs getting burned off. I don't think we did with this model. Okay, so we're just going to warp up to our periapsis here. Not periapsis, apoapsis. It would be bad to warp to the periapsis right now. That would result in a crash. So we're just going to warp forward a little bit further here. Cool. So here in 5 seconds, we will circularize our orbit. And now. Very little delta V required to circularize because we had a huge amount of horizontal delta V already, and this is good enough. So let's go ahead and get our inclination set up for min-miss. We'll set that as our target, and it looks like at the ascending node is when we will go ahead and burn this. We're going to need to burn anti-normal. I always get that wrong. It's opposite of the one I think it's going to be. Every time I get that wrong. Okay, that's 0.1 and 0.0. Perfect. So let's get set up for that. It'll take a little bit to rotate over to it, but not too long, to be honest. Okay. Just positioning here. And let's alter that a little bit. There we go. And let's prepare for this burn. Beautiful. So this is still going to be burning off of this. Like, we're overkill on our fuel by a pretty wide margin. I think that's pretty clear. These fuel tanks are full. No. No, you don't. No, you don't. Get back up here. We've got a bit of wiggling going on. No doubt about that. And we have the struts stored in this, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay. So we're just going to position approximately here. There we go. And now we'll warp forward a little bit. Our burn is going to be in 5 seconds. This is interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with that exactly. And I was distracted. Our burn time is changing. There we go. There was a Kopernicus update, so maybe this is a beta thing. I don't know. Cool. We'll call that probably good enough. Yes, that is in the category of probably good enough. And next off, we need to decide when we're heading out to Minmus. Would that be sometime around here? I feel like that's probably too late, but we'll see. Actually, that's not bad. We're coming in retrograde here, which we don't necessarily want. I want to grab our maneuver here. If I can. There we go. And I want to pull this around a wee bit. That was a little much. Okay. There, that'll do. Something like that. Perfect. This is going to be a pure prograde burn, so let's go ahead and warp on... Well, actually, there's no warping to be done. We're basically at the burn point. So we're just going to position for this. Yeah, it's like there's a spotlight shining here. That's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. There appears to be a lighting bug, and the only thing that changed was a new version of Kopernicus, so I'm assuming that it's something to do with that. But we'll see. So we're just going to position for this burn and warp forward a little bit here. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And off we go. Fantastic. So we're heading for Minmus here, and this is going to burn out this entire stage. That's good, for the record. We definitely want it to be burned out. Let's just lock to prograde for the time being. And this will be just fine. Let's get rid of this thing. Get out of here. There we go. So now we can turn much more easily. I'm going to go to Stability Assist, and we'll park on this node. Cool. This is probably good enough. It is not good enough. Okay, so we're just going to burn this on in. And this is definitely in the category of good enough. So at this periapsis, we are going to go ahead and do a retrograde burn, bringing us down to about our 15-kilometer parking orbit that we've been using. Something along the lines of that. Looks great. We'll align for that burn, and this is going to be a very speedy warp indeed. We're going to say goodbye to Kerbal in a big hurry here. So let's get in position. I don't want to be on prograde. Not for the moment, anyway. And park there. Now we can go back to prograde. Goodbye, Kerbal. We're out of here. So we're heading off to Minmus. I'm hoping that we can get this thing landed yet this episode. That would be ideal. So our braking burn is going to be here. Then we're going to have to do a second braking burn that is going to... Well, do we circularize it? I think we probably do end up circularizing it. We want to be on retrograde, not prograde. Get back over here. Cool. So back to prograde we go. And we're just going to... Or rather, back to retrograde we go. And we're just going to prepare for our braking burn here. And there we go. Fantastic. It'll be about a 30-second burn. We can physics warp it. Cool. And there we go. That'll do. I think we will circularize this. It does make things easier, and it's not like we're having any shortage of Delta V. So we're going to bring this on down. Fantastic. I also see that the colony core is currently in darkness, which is not ideal at all, but I guess that's fine. We're going to warp around to this. And into Minmus we come. We're going to have to, of course, turn around, because we're going to be facing basically exactly the opposite direction that we want to. We're currently facing prograde, so we're going to flip it on around. Over to retrograde. Fantastic. And let's just warp on forward. And begin our braking burn now. Cool. That should be good enough. Okay, so with that done, we can see that the colony core is about to come around here. So let's go ahead and warp around one orbit. These orbits shouldn't take very long. Do we want to go a second orbit? Just to get it more in daylight. Maybe. Yeah, I think we probably should. So let's take it one more orbit here. Cool. That should work much better. Sometime around here... Oh, we're control locked. Where's Kerbal? Kerbal is over here. Why are we control locked? No power? We've got power. We just don't have a connection right now. That's intriguing. I mean, we have a built-in antenna on this thing. But we weren't control locked earlier. That's definitely intriguing. That said, we can probably just eyeball it. This is kind of famous last words here. Okay. This is going the opposite direction of what I thought it would be going. Why are we opposite right now? Can we stop? Yeah, just hold still. Yeah, it's going opposite directions. Wait. Stop. Trim again. I'm definitely not setting this trim. I'm very confused about that. Okay. That's wild. And I'm not able to untrim it because of no connection. I'm not hitting Alt ever while doing this. How is this trim coming about? It definitely wasn't there to begin with. Okay, just go to prograde. Or rather, just go to retrograde for now. We need to deal with this trim issue. So, to that end, we have a comsat out over here. We might need to actually send a communication satellite in orbit over Minmus. That's exciting. Let's try warping around over this way. Now the trim is gone, apparently, while warping. Does it come back after we're done warping? It must be something that was accidentally set up in the VAB. And I don't know how to do it in the VAB. Okay, SAS off. Hypothetically, if we were to clear the input blocker, which this here would clear it. If we were to clear the input blocker and fix the trim like this, because the trim, as far as I'm aware, was never actually set up. So we do something like this. There we go. Now we're still input locked, right? So there's still only so many things that we can do. I'm surprised that we don't have a connection. We never had an issue with not having a connection with the others, but I'm guessing that had to do with where in the orbit these were. Is the only thing I can figure. So we should be input locked right now, to be clear. We're currently not because we cleared it to fix the trim, which should be resettable, in my opinion. Is there a hotkey to, like, just reset trim? I don't think you'd have to go to the main menu for that. If there is, that would be great. But what we're going to need to do is we were able to steer without the data previously, right? No, we're not able to do that. We're only able to lock to things. That's right. And we're only able to full throttle and unthrottle. We can't set up maneuvers. So with that being the case, we do need to send a communications satellite out here to cover this. Okay. So that means, unfortunately, no landing today. We're going to have to go back to the Space Center, and we're going to need to get ourselves a communications satellite out here. So that'll be fine. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Emlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Unisol, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.